Hey everyone, Michelle here from Level 28 Media, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a live audit of a few landing pages and websites that I found from Google and provide you my best tips in terms of converting the traffic from Google Ads pay-per-click into actual leads. So if you're ready for it, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so I just clicked on the top 3 ads within Google. And the first ad that I clicked on led me to this page. And the first thing that I'm seeing here is it's for genesisbankruptcyattorney.com. And I'm seeing that it's an unsecure website. So my recommendation for this is to add an SSL certificate. They're not really that expensive. You can get it through your domain provider. I think it's like less than $10 a year. But have to check on that. And the reason why we need an SSL certificate is it helps to build trust with the users. People may not feel comfortable giving their contact information to an unsecure site because they don't know what the actual website's going to do with that information. So it's really important to get an SSL certificate for the site to build credibility. Now, the second thing that I see, and this is not a landing page, it is a website, but I'm seeing here that it does not have a proper title tag. So it says page not found. So I would recommend to update the title tag in here to make it look like a more legitimate website. And then I'm seeing the navigation menu. It repeats itself to a certain extent, at least this part and this part. It's just a lot of information, and there's nothing wrong with having all this stuff here, but the fact that it's repetitive, it would confuse the user, and it just seems like it needs to have a bit of a facelift in terms of updating the site so that it's random that there's a random home button here and another home button here, profile here. So I think that it was probably intended to have like this one either removed or this one removed and not have them together. So I would recommend to take that out. Now, some other things here, I like that they're mentioning in terms of some great call outs here. I see here that it says chapter 713. So this is the service offering that they provide. They also provide debt settlement, and they're calling out that they have 36 locations across California, which is great. Some other big areas of improvement, though, I'd say I don't see a phone number at the top of the fold. So before even scrolling down, I don't see a phone number. And if you do scroll down, the phone number is here, but it's like hidden. It's not clickable. So my assumption is on a mobile device, it's not even optimized either. So I would recommend to have the phone number in the top right corner and a couple times throughout the actual website or landing page. And then another big issue that I see here is that the fact that we are sending it to a website, that is an issue in itself, because there's so many links to all these different places. And what I like to say about these links is that they tend to be leaks in terms of losing people because they get distracted. You're paying all this money to get people to go to you're paying all this money for traffic to go to your website or landing page. And sure enough, they're just getting distracted because they're seeing your social media links, and then they want to go follow you or look at you on Yelp, and then they don't end up coming back. So my recommendation for any type of local lead generation is always to drive to a dedicated landing page. And we can take a look at some examples of great landing pages at another time, but just wanted to call that out in terms of, my feedback on this specific landing page. So if I was to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 2. Unfortunately, it really does not measure up to the mark, and I'm pretty sure that they're spending a decent amount in advertising within Los Angeles, which can be very pricey. So the next page that we're going to look at is stopdebt.com, and this is for a firm called Weber Furman. Now, the first impression that I get from this site is that it is a very antiquated, and nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, some people like that type of vibe, but I'd say that it just gives me antiquated vibes just because of the colors and all of that. I think in terms of a website in itself, it's a decent basic site, but it's not designed for conversion optimization. There's again too many leaks. I think it's important to mention the services that you provide, whether it's helping to file Chapter 7s and 13s, debt settlement, and so forth. But the problem is that there's too many links to different pages on the site. People will get lost. What I will say in terms of some positivity and good call outs here is the phone number at the top right. But the thing is, I don't know why they repeat itself. So I would actually remove one of those. Make the phone number clickable. So on mobile, it's optimized so that when someone sees it, they can click on it and call directly. And then I don't see a form. And the call to action is not really clear. I don't know what they want us to do. They say free consultation, call to schedule. Okay, I guess this is their call to action, but it's like so small it's hard to see. It's just not a very well designed website in terms of converting traffic into leads. So that's my feedback on this one. I'd probably give this one like a 2 as well, or maybe even a 1. And then this is another landing page or website. I'm not even seeing landing pages. Yeah, so in terms of some feedback here, this is Christine Nguyen. I think this is just a random page on their website. This attorney probably does more than just bankruptcy. And yeah, he does. He does bankruptcy, family law, probate. So what they're doing is they're just taking one page off of the actual website and they're driving traffic. Some positives, they have a phone number at the top right and it's clickable. They have a call to action, call now for a free consultation. What is this pop-up? Automatically qualify yourself for a Chapter 7. Let's see. I click on that and then let's see what it does. It's like, it takes me to another random page. Yeah, this is not really set up in a good way. But I will say that this page does a better job for pay-per-click Google ads than the other one that they were driving traffic to. So I would actually recommend to send traffic here instead of the other page that I initially was driven to. Because this page is just a bunch of content. It's designed for SEO. I don't see who the attorney is until I scroll all the way down. And then the other page that came from that random pop-up does a much better job in telling me what I need to do, has the phone number at the top right, it has the name of the attorney. I would love to see a picture of the attorney so that builds trust too. Oh, there he is. But I would actually move this up, higher up so that when I get here, I can see who would be working with me. And then this one does have reviews. That's another big recommendation in terms of with landing pages, having testimonials that will build trust, especially if someone doesn't know who you are. And yeah, I'd say to make this this is probably like a 8 out of a 10. But to make this a 10 out of 10, I'd say, have a form. And then let's see. Well, the form is here, but it doesn't look good. I'd say I will want the form to be here on the right. And then this is like a random link to another page. Do not link to random pages on your website or landing page. And yeah, it has social media links. I would remove all of that. But yeah, I think this is probably the best one, but this was not actually one that was uh, coming from pay-per-click. It was a random page that came from a pop-up. So if you have any questions on landing pages and best practices in terms of converting the traffic into leads from Google Ads, please feel free to reach out and I would be happy to give you some feedback. Thank you very much.